Okay, this is the highlight video from GreatStockPicks.com, October 20th trading. I'll show you a few here from today, low risk calls that we made. Juniper Networks was very strong on the daily after gapping down yesterday. I think it had some shorts caught, but it's very strong. I didn't think it could get through this high here. So as it was running, it met one of my favorite setups here. Get my drawing tool going. Called this as a short after it was doing this little run up. Called it as a short right there, literally the stop right there. 32.53 was the short, and the stop was a dime above. It did fall down to 32.07 down here for a nice little short. Trying to get used to this new drawing tool here. Okay, that was one. SYK. This thing gapped up with a daily here. Gapped up and was I just kept seeing this. Wasn't something I was really even watching, but I just kept seeing it light up my new lows ticker all day, right? and it was just kind of grinding lower, but when it went into this, keep watching here, as it went in and just started scrolling down, getting that shape there. You can kind of see it better if I zoom in. All of a sudden it went from grinding down to that waterfall look we talk about, and the volume increasing whenever you get the candles reaching down and the volume reaching up like they're reaching towards each other. That's when it becomes interesting. And the volume was so big, I did one of my tactics. I switched to 2-minute candles. I only do that when I get monster volume, and I'll show you one more time. When I get monster volume and the candles, see how skinny all these candles are? See how they're starting to get wider and wider and wider and longer, and volume's increasing. When I see that, that's a clue, and I teach my members in our chat room to switch to a lower time frame. And I jumped to 2s here, and wanted to buy the first break of a previous 2s high. 50.16 was the call right there, and the worst case stop right below the trigger candle itself, 14 cents below, 50.02. So a 14-cent risk, and from 50.16 near the end of the day there went all the way up over 50.80. So a nice move in our favor again on what I say, 14 cents risk. So that was another nice low risk setup, and one of the rare scenarios where I'll switch to a lower time frame than 5s, and it worked out great. What are some others? Bank of America, one of our members reminded me. I was watching this earlier. This thing's just been killed on the daily, by the way, and then gapped down today and had huge volume. So I was watching this for a turn for a possible long, and let's see here. That's what it looked like when one of my members reminded me about it. I wanted to take this as a break. I wanted to be in it already if it was going to break its early high, because I knew it might have some more upside. It definitely today was kind of like downside capitulation, at least seemed like it. Okay, so it had these are 5-minute candles, a midday spike to 11.57, a subsequent second spike to 11.57. So now I've got a very clear cut 11.58 trigger price, okay, above both of these candles, with the high of the day right to the left of that. The high of the day was 11.61. So 11.58 was a clear-cut entry with a very good chance it gets us to 11.62, a new high of day. And then if we get a new high of day, a very good chance we get some short covering on Bank of America. So a great setup, and I called this at 11.58, and I said the worst case stop 11.47, I think. So about 11 cents risk. And there's in 5 minutes it hit 11.58 and got through the high of the day, meandered for a little bit, and then slowly started grinding higher. Made it all the way up to 11.88. So a 30-cent move in our favor on about a dime risk, but you could easily make the argument that the dime risk was irrelevant, because after the 11.58 entry, it never came close to going down to 11.48. It did come back to 11.56 at one point. I had my stop at 11.53 because I took some off the table into this initial spike, which enabled me some wiggle room. Rather than go to a break-even stop, it enabled me a little bit of wiggle room on the back half, which enabled me to take advantage of this late-day rally on half my trade. So kind of a new strategy for me that I'm trying to share with the membership. UAL, United Airlines, met one of my favorite setups here. Call this a potential final push up. It's just grinding higher all day and then goes into that where you can see the shape change. It's almost straight up and you see the volume going up. I always look to fade these types of moves. And on this case, it was a first break of a previous 5-minute candle's low that I was looking at, 27.52. Worst case stop, 27.71. So less than 20 cents, but again, 5 minutes later it was 27.45. Another 5 minutes, 27.31. So now we're starting to pay ourselves on that short and go to a break-even stop, and then you just cover as it kept falling. And eventually it came back up to our break-even. I don't know if it took out the high of the day there. It might have. It didn't matter because we always cover into that move and go to a break-even stop on the rest. And then the star of the day, unfortunately, I wasn't involved in. Let's go to the daily. AMLN. Huge gap down today. Huge gap down. FDA rejection or something of one of their drugs, something along those lines. I had to make a phone call, and as I was on the phone, one of our members, and this is a great example of the camaraderie and the teamwork in our room. One of our members posted to the room, hey, this is basing right at the high of the day after that huge gap down, and we like this setup. Nice tight base with a high of 1025. See how it just went sideways, flirting with that 1025. So the way we play this is 1026 if it breaks the high of the day. I don't normally take high of day breaks, but with a huge gap down and a very tight base. Okay, so you got bulls and bears just battling here. Battling here. The minute the bulls started to win at 1026 on that high of day break, you could put your stop below this little tight base at 1014, maybe about a 12-cent risk. And from 1026, this thing went all the way to 1175. My goodness, that's over $1.50 with a little over a dime risk. Now, again, you won't see this on our results page because I told everybody, hold on, I had to make a phone call. And while I'm on the phone, a lot of our members caught this because one of our members posted it. So a lot of teamwork in there, but that's the biggest trade of the day that went without me. But still, many of our members got it. So I'm not the only one calling stuff in there. We had a lot of members in there working together. And certainly congrats to any of them that got that. That was a huge move today. So, all right, I'm going to quit babbling, and we'll put out another highlight video tomorrow night. Have a good night.